Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install Appwrite and get data from the database. So let's get started. So first, go to Appwrite and create an account. Nothing complicated about that. Okay, so after you're done creating an account, you will see this type of page. Just add in the name of the organization. Okay, and you will have this option for the free account. Okay, but I'm getting the paid option because I've already used the free one to create demo. Okay, so this is an empty project right now, so I'll come back to this later. So after you have done this, you need to go in to your React project, and I've just installed a fresh React project. Okay, added React router DOM to it and added the routes. Okay, and in my home I've just added a simple page. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this later, but create a db folder and add this appwrite db.jsx or just js if you want. I just like to use JSX to keep things simple, and this is where we are going to set up all of the database stuff for Appwrite. So here, what I'm going to do is show you the command to install Appwrite into your project. So be in your project, which is mine. Okay, and then type in the command npm I Appwrite, press enter. I've already installed this, so I'm not gonna reinstall this again, but this is what you need to type in to install Appwrite. After you have installed Appwrite, you need to come back here, click on create project, give this project a name. This is, let's say we're going to create a blog, so I'm just going to call this project blog. Okay, blog, and then just choose a server. Because I'm on the free option, I'm only getting one, and that's this one, so I'm just going to choose this. So after your project has been created, you will be shown this. So this is where you need to set up your project, and if you're connecting to a server, you need to set up one of these two, but we're going to be focusing on the front end, which is React, not React Native, but React. So we're going to choose the web option because we're creating a web app. So we need to name this web app. I'm just going to call this something simple like blog client, and this is going to be localhost because we want access to be given to localhost. And if you have an actual website, come and change this later on, because this would not work if you have localhost set up in your hostname. So change this when you are in production mode, when you have put the app online. Okay, so I'm going to keep it localhost for now. So do next, and then you will see the command to install this. So it's npm install Appwrite, just like I said. Then you need to add this, and you can create a separate file for the Appwrite logic. And then because Appwrite has different things like authentication and databases, storage, and etc., but we're gonna focus on the databases for this tutorial. I'm gonna choose next, and then it's saying that you need to do this. Okay, and this is your ID. I'm not going to show you mine. Obviously, you should not show this to anyone. So just copy this, and here where we're setting up the database logic, you can just put this in. And since you have installed Appwrite, you should see something like this. So this will import Appwrite for you. Okay, and this is the ID of your project. Okay, so after this, do next, and you're all set. So go to the dashboard now. And as you can see, your project is here. Okay, so we are going to go into the database because we want to set up our database. So we don't have any databases set up yet, so I'm going to do create a database, and I'm going to name this database blog db just to keep things simple. And I'm going to do create. I'm going to actually make db capital. Okay, do create. And now I'm in collection, so I'm going to create a collection. I'm going to name this posts for blog posts. And in my collection now, which is post, I can add a schema into this. So the schema for this is going to be very simple, just a title and description. So this I'm going to name title. The size, let's say it's 40, and the default, I'm not going to have anything. I'm going to keep it null, and it's going to be something that is required, and this is not going to be an array. So I'm going to do create, and I have a title, but I want to add another attribute, which is description, and then the size is going to be, let's say, 250, and this is not going to be required. So I've added these two in now. So I'm going to go into documents, and I'm going to show you how a document would look like. Because we have added these two in, we can now add this. So if you're wondering about the created at or updated at, that is automatically handled. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. Just I'm going to add in something simple like blog post 1. I'm going to call this, and I'm going to copy this, add this, and say blog post 1 description. Okay, just keeping it simple. I'm going to do next, create, and here we go. Our blog post is created. It has a title, it has a description. If you want to edit this, you can see that when it was created, when it was updated, and you can delete it here, and you can go into this and change the blog post title and description if you want, update it. So this is how this works. I'm going to go back here. So after you've done this and you've added this, we are telling that connect to our project using this. So we need to now connect to the database using this client. So what you can do here is do constant, and then I'm going to call this databases. The reason why I'm calling bases is because you can have more than one database if you are using the paid version. I'm just using the free version, so I'm only getting one. So I'm just going to do databases, then you do new, and then do databases. Okay, so now that you've created databases, you just need to pass in the client to it. So what this is going to do is say connect to the project and get the databases from this project. So next we are going to export this. Okay, and you can make this a JavaScript file. I'm just keeping things simple. I just like to do it like this. This is my preference. Okay, so here we are going to import that databases connection we created. So we're gonna make this an asynchronous function. Okay, and I'm running it within a use effect so that when our app is done rendering, we can run this function. So we will add a await to this, and then do databases, and then we're going to use dot, and then we're going to do list documents. Okay, so this will get all of the documents for us. So if you're wondering what the document is, it's basically this. Okay, the posts that we have. Okay, so I'm gonna need two things, because this needs two things. One is the database ID, and the other one is the collection ID. So first, go into your databases. Okay, get the database ID, add that into this, and then go into your database, get the collection ID, and add that into your project. And I'm going to do a constant, and I'm going to say docs just to keep things simple. And then I'm going to do a console.log just to get docs. Save this. Now I'm going to refresh. Okay, it's saying I'm not authorized. Okay, I'm going to check what the problem is and then come back to see what's happening. Okay, so I ended up figuring out what the problem was. In your databases, you need to set this up. So go into your database, go into your collection, and then in your collection you need to go into settings and then add a role. I've added the role of any so that anyone can have access to this, and then just tick the boxes depending on what access you want to give them. So that's how this works. If you do this, then you will have access to your blog. And now we are getting the data from this, because if you see, I go into documents, go into this, and you can see that this is the ID, the title, and the description. So you're getting this. So this is it for this tutorial. I hope you like this. Like and subscribe for more tutorials like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.